Meet Mr. Superhero, trying to save the day but constantly making wrong decisions. That's why he's been out of business. He gambles occasionally and drinks often to try and get over his depressed state. After observing a long run of black on the roulette wheel, Mr. Superhero believes that red is now due. This is the gambler's fallacy in action. It's the person's belief that the probability of an item changes based on previous attempts, when in reality, the probability remains the same because each attempt has an independent probability that is not affected by previous ones. Gambler's fallacy is caused by representativeness heuristic. Both the choices presented to Mr. Superhero lead to the same outcome. However, a sure gain is generally more preferable by decision makers than a gamble. This is risk aversion. It is a preference for a sure outcome over a gamble that has a higher or equal expectation. On the other hand, if we told Mr. Superhero that he had the option of either losing 400 people for sure versus a 2/3 probability of losing 600 people, he would be risk-seeking and choose the gamble over the sure thing, despite the fact that both options still have the same outcome. Risk-seeking is the rejection of a sure thing in favor of a gamble of lower or equal expectation. A dramatic event temporarily increases the availability of its category in the mind. A plane crash that attracted media coverage will temporarily alter Mr. Superhero's feelings about the safety of flying. Mr. Superhero fears something that have an almost zero probability of occurring due to the ease with which a plane crash instance is brought to his mind. This is availability heuristic. It is decision-making based on the most easily accessible or retrievable from one's mind. Mr. Superhero prefers the survival frame, although the two choices are typically the same in terms of probability. The cognitive bias, which is playing here, is framing effects, which means that our brains are often fooled to distinguish between the same kind of information when represented in two different contextual frames. Framing effects are driven by the human nature seeking to minimize losses and maximize gains. Even superheroes fall for cognitive biases.
Created using Powtoon.